Welcome back. So, last time was the Halloween special. You'd been teleported to just a mile or so outside of Talva. You entered into the woods, met a woodsman who told you about a cursed woodsman with an axe. You then proceeded to enter into a
Boom.
woods that stretched vastly larger than they should have. You were attacked by some sort of hulking creature in the woods themselves. You were able to steal his axe, find a cabin that told you to go chop down the cursed tree, which you did, and then you were able to get out of the actual curse. The sun shined on your face as the morning has come, and a guard had told you that he saw your carriage, told us you head to the southern gate of Talva, and pointed the way. So you're able to make your way to the gates
Oh,
of Talva.
yay.
So you find your party there. What would you like to do?
Uh, let's get to an inn.
Yes.
Okay.
In.
All right.
Keep an eye out for wanted posters or civil wars or shit while we've been down there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Was one of those brewing, wasn't there?
They might think we're just dead at this point.
Probably not. Anyway,
All right. If you would like to find an inn, well, you've been to Talva a couple of different times.
Isn't this where Lucian slept with the innkeeper twice?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
Do you want to go to that inn?
Oh. I mean, we know where it is.
And also, you are in Talva.
Yeah, it's true.
hooray.
Sure, let's go to that inn. That's headed toward the Starwell anyway, isn't it?
It that one was more on the outskirts. The Starwell is direct center of the city.
Yeah, since we're going to have business in the Starwell, I guess we could try to find one toward the Starwell.
Okay. If you want to look for an inn closer to the Starwell, you can do an investigation check to try to find one, or kind of any check that you think might be useful for looking for something.
I will do an investigation.
Same.
Okay. Otto, you having bad luck finding an inn. It just seems like any attempt to look for signs or talk to people or just completely you're just off day today. Graham, however, is able to follow a sign that takes him to an inn. He actually finds two inns. One is more of a kind of like a dingier inn. It doesn't look like it's in great shape. Uh, it just doesn't really. The sign is peeling, the paint there. A second inn, higher end, fresh coat of paint. It looks nicer, more well lit. The dingier inn is called the Golden Grain, and the more high end inn is called the Thirsty Sailor.
I'm
Got money.
assuming the people that are going into these inns also match the type of inns they are.
Um, People going into the more like dingy inn look more.
Questionable.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I was trying to think of a polite way to describe it. The people going into the higher end inn, they look a little bit wealthier, not like super rich, but they look more middle class. You see people who appear to be just a number of craftsmen or merchants or people who would handle. Like they have some set of like skilled training.
All right.
But you have access
Let's
to
go to
them.
the nice one. I want as few surprises as possible.
That's what I was thinking.
Sounds good.
This has been one of the adventures of all time.
All right.
Somehow I don't think we're done yet.
Well,
Mhm.
it's D&D. It never ends. Unless the world
I was just
does.
saying, I was just telling that to Graham.
This is a threat.
So yeah, the Thirsty Sailor. This is very it's a little bit nicer of an inn. You can see that the the building itself is well maintained. It's a two-story inn. You can see through the windows that there doesn't look like too many people in currently. You do see a bartender, but with it being probably about like 8 or 9 a.m., it doesn't have many people. Most people would be at work, but you see the occasional person in there, like getting a drink or maybe just some food.
Let's get ourselves a room.
Yeah, book a good old room.
Okay. Entering into the inn off of the street, you immediately feel like the warm air coming from the fireplace. Outside, chilly, winds blowing. It really, like, even with the thick clothing, you could feel it kind of cutting through. You're hit with the smell of some baking meats, fresh bread,
Mm.
kind of a sweet wine smell in the air as well. Bartender sees you. Older human, bushy beard, thinning hair on top. Um, he, well, muscled, especially for old age or older age. You can see a few tattoos that give me a history check.
I will give you a history check.
I will humor you with one.
Nice.
Graham, you would recognize these as sailors' tattoos. Some of the iconography is relatively easy to figure out. Anchors, the wheel of a ship. Some of it is more esoteric in terms of needing to understand very specific references, but you're able to see that through these tattoos, this man is most likely than not a retired merchant sailor.
Makes sense. Graham will walk up, exchange a polite greeting, and ask if you can get a room for the party.
Ah, a little early in the morning. You folks been traveling to the night?
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Well, we got some rooms. No one's staying there right now. It might change come nighttime, so I can easily set you up. Call it 5 silver a room for a night.
Here's a gold. Here's for 2 rooms. Can we put them side by side?
Sure.
Thank you kindly.
If you have any animals, I can
Rooms.
stable them.
Yes, those. At least one of those is not a ghost.
All right. What do you have for animals?
Reggie's conjured away. Aurora, if she's allowed in, can stay in. We have an ostrich.
And two mules?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ostrich, 2 mules.
An ostrich. Okay. Well,
We live real interesting lives.
I'll.
The ostrich must be fed.
What do ostriches eat?
We will
Only raw
provide.
meat and blood and raw meat.
I'll get.
I feel like we know what they ate, but I don't remember.
I'll get him some blood, I
mean,
guess.
When I captured Charlie, he wanted to eat me, and then I gave him some other food. and he was
Oh,
like,
that's
all
right.
All right.
Halfling meat, right?
I guess.
I think it was the speak with animals.
That's right. He did specifically want to eat halflings.
Well,
Having this aside in front of this innkeeper.
I don't have any halfling meat, and it'd be very illegal to feed him some, but I can get him some
That's a relief.
bits and bobs of
Yeah.
like.
Also, I admire your sense of ethics, Mr. Bartender.
I'm just not trying to get arrested.
Yeah, that's very similar to my sense of ethics.
And I mean,
So I admire it.
I don't know if I would be strictly comfortable with butchering an intelligent creature to feed to an ostrich.
Yeah. That's fine. Moving on.
Yeah, that would be weird, right? It's like
I
my
mean,
character in my Sunday game or my Saturday night game has never eaten an elf, but if they did, it was in self-defense.
Anyhow, he slides over 2 keys.
Thank you. So we've been away from towns for a good long while. Any big events in the last couple of weeks?
Oh, yeah, rumors. Some interesting stuff. Let's see here. Well, there's the whole deal with Count Drindir
Yeah.
being mad at the Duke there. Troops have been gathering. Actually, they cut off access to the bridge over the river to Talva, so some of the movement coming to the bar here has been cut down. But we always get some college students here or there. Moving pretty quick considering it's wintertime. But so far, it's just been blocking access to roads and putting pressure on the Duke. However, they've been raiding a few towns here or there.
Bastards. I guess I'm not surprised. Anything else?
Pirates have gotten a little bolder. Actually, that's an interesting one. This appeals to me. The pirate admiral out of Pearl Island has been searching for something. I hear.
the who? Or the what? What's he searching for?
Couldn't say. All they know is he's got pirate ships out and about. Just from a few sailor contacts I hear, they've been looking for something, digging up islands. But there's probably about 1,000 small little islands off of the coast of Viderheim. So
Out of character, did we interact with any pirates? I feel like
Technically,
pirates were involved at some point.
At the beginning, it's Jimmy and Jackson.
we have heard a lot about the pirates holed up on that island off the shore, and they've got like a powerful magic storm, and they do pirate shit.
yep. And it's getting close to. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are, guys, with the. Because you're not from like around Viderheim, are you? Just because of the accents.
No, we're been here a little while now, but we're from abroad mostly.
Oh yeah. So this has to deal with back in Vaxfall. It's getting to about the 71st anniversary, or give or take, of the pirate attack on the city. That's the one that shattered the crossblades. I don't know if you know anything about them, but they
Never heard of them.
and then the Order of the Tower defended against the pirates and killed the first pirate admiral, the old Dragon Eye there. But yeah, it's getting close to the anniversary of that.
I see.
So if you get down to Vaxfall for that, big celebration.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to make our
I think
trip
that's the
down
way
there.
we're about headed.
Yeah.
Well, can't cross the bridge, so if you're gonna head south, definitely head down past Sutton and Pern. Just follow the main road. Probably take you about maybe a week or two, especially in wintertime. But yeah, and river's frozen, so no one's taking the boats down down the river there.
Yeah.
And then I got rumors for outside Viderheim if you're interested in anything.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I'm always interested.
Oh, let's see here. Well, Zadora's, expanding their fleet, are always looking to be the new Arwell. Speaking of Arwell, I hear the Emperor is having some trouble with his outlying towns paying taxes.
That's always good.
Let's see here. The princes for the islands there have been. Well, they're always fighting one another, and I hear they've been trying to traffic with fiends in order to get a leg up on one another. Heck,
Oh,
I
that
even
ain't
heard
good.
I even heard a fiend took over one of the island is now one of the princes there, but can't say for sure.
If it's anybody we know. I mean, I don't know any fiends.
and they play their games. The princes are always fighting each other for control of the islands, but
Hmm.
that's just what
And
I've heard.
yeah, and I take it the session's out at Starwell, right?
Oh yeah, class is out for the winter. It'll be back in a month or so, and then I'm gonna be well, college kids swing by here no matter what. So
It's gonna be good for business.
I'm just
Spring
happier.
break, but it's in like Norway.
Really, the best time for me is after midterms and finals. That's when the drinking really flows.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we okay, so we can actually hit that then, the Starwell thing.
Oh yeah,
They did tell us to come back after finals.
Got some brief business in town.
We can head back.
We should probably arrange a message or a sending spell to back home.
Yeah.
well if you want that, there's services in town for that.
You know about how much they charge?
I think they have like a business account. I could never afford it, and I don't really need to contact. Might be able to get away with 10 gold ascending spell.
I
That's
thought
not
we
the worst.
out of character. I thought we did this here at some point. I don't know if the
You,
Crossblades had a business account.
I don't believe you actually went and got the business account.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It's been so long, dude.
But you'll have to talk to them about it
Okay.
because
I
sadly I don't know any
understand.
wizards. Although, funny enough, adding in a sending messenger service would actually be pretty good. If you really need to get a message, though, trail wardens are generally pretty reliable. They can get a message down to Vaxval pretty quickly or up to Kirag. I don't know, wherever you need to send it. Although it can be a bit of delay with the, with Drindir making noise.
Mm. Well, I guess for now, let's.
Oh, and speaking of, Count Drindir's, one of his cousins got hung.
Oh,
What?
what was that about?
Well, I didn't hear too much about it. Just apparently a mercenary who was working for the Count maybe had a tiff with him, hung his cousin, and now he's working for the Duke.
Hmm. What's the guy's
Uh,
name? You know?
Sorry, don't know.
Hmm.
did,
Would
did
uh,
that,
would I be able to recall that with a history check,
Yeah,
or
go
if
ahead.
is it something I wouldn't know?
You can make a history check if you'd like.
I will. Oh yeah, I can't do that anymore. So keep rolling good, bro.
I did
um,
get expertise in history from a feat.
this one, so this is a little more recent. You would have heard a bit here or there, when searching around. You do recall hearing a little bit about the Count having hired a mercenary, a paladin who had taken an oath of war,
Hmm.
and that does seem to match with what you just heard. Um, Although it's news to you that he's now working for the Duke.
Alright.
Interesting.
Have to see if we could bend that guy's ear sometime.
Yeah, he's probably in Vaxval, honestly, but
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate getting caught back up on things.
yeah, you're welcome. Well, you two, you folks have a good, I guess, morning.
Mm,
Mm.
reckon I will.
And if you
Yep.
want anything to eat, let me know. We'll whip you
Mm.
up some breakfast.
How about how about like bats? I remember at least one place had like hot springs, but we probably want to have a bath after being in the Underdark for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, we got like a sauna here. Although if you really want to go get a good sauna, you got to head up to Elsie. That's where they have all the hot springs. Cities. Well, I've never been there, but I hear it's about half hot spring, half anything else in the city.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
what
we can
I
do it.
my understanding, they got them like all underground there.
Ooh.
That and mead.
Mm, need.
Mm.
Graham realizes it has been entirely too long since he got to have a drink.
Yeah. I got wine. I got mead. I got just beer.
Uh, better not just face plant in the home stretch here. Let me get some rest under me before I celebrate.
All right.
He says, convincing himself as much as anyone else.
Otto's gonna chuckle. Out of character, I think you're remembering the hot spring or the springs we used was in Drindir, where they were trying to cash in on the wanted poster.
Probably.
You
Okay.
had gone to the you had gone to a sauna twice in Drindir. Once was when you had investigated the sewers and needed to actually get clean, and the second time was what
Don't say it
Eddie's
like that. You needed to get clean.
you
Graham, we're all just worried about you.
Look, I
It's
had disease
recovery
immunity.
you had all kind of like you had climbed through like a rather
Sewage.
large amount of sewage.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm disease immune. Okay, so let's just get our long rest underway. I hit the button. I'm happy.
The two rooms upstairs that you got, they are like the rest of them are pretty well maintained. Nothing like super fancy, but the sheets are clean. The beds are soft. Pillows appear to be stuffed with feathers.
Nice.
Um, Nothing very super fancy. The rooms themselves, they have the kind of style of the other buildings where they have these kind of like little mini chimneys where you can see like the heat flowing from it, so the rooms themselves are warm.
Nice.
So we were able to bed down.
We need to split the 700 from the that layer too, by the way. The gold
Yeah.
calculator. How many? It was 4 of us, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just 4 of us.
Not even giving Kaido his half or his part, I should say.
Well, he hasn't been here in like 3 months.
This is true. Yeah, Kaido has just been kind of like chilling.
175 175 for each of us then. Gold.
Nice.
Okay, we can always sort that out again later.
1256.
261 gold. Yay. What's my armor? I should probably try to start saving up to
171?
upgrade that. I think I'm still in like splint.
You said 171?
175.
Oh, 175. Okay.
Even better.
Fern is the richest rabbit in all the land.
She's the only rabbit in all the land with money.
It's true. You really don't see a lot of
I
rabbit.
don't know that. There could be more.
You typically haven't seen a lot of Harrogans.
Look,
I
I was playing Remnant yesterday. Fern, we need to take the hunt to them. Didn't you have planned this before?
Yeah. We're supposed to go to their hunting lodge or whatever after we defeat the first hunter or something. I
And
think
burn
is
their
what
lodge down. Got it.
happened.
And burn their lodge down. Maybe Lucian will be there. He can just
At least
set
that's
everything
how
afire.
I'm remembering that conversation going with the guy.
I will put this into the
For the
to-do
satyr.
list. Burn down the hunting lodge.
You,
Unsorted.
yeah, you're
Burn down hunting lodge for Fern in the Feywilds.
you had been told that you have to defeat the hunter in order to get access to the hunter's lodge to appeal to them to not actually hunt you for sport.
Yes.
And then burn down their lodge.
I
like this.
mean,
Didn't really mention that part, but I think that one was added by you.
yeah, I mean, you could do that, I suppose, if you really want to.
It's part
I
of it's part of getting vengeance, okay?
They might possibly just hunt me anyway after that, though.
I mean, they can hunt me. It's all about getting vengeance. Otto says this with a straight face, and I'm sure Graham can't tell if he's being serious or not.
Oh, Graham knows he's being serious. It's the quiet resignation in his eyes.
Okay, so 8-hour rest, I guess.
Assuming nothing blows up at us.
Well, if you are able to get to rest, I assume the majority of you are pretty tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you bed down and it is 8 hours almost instantly. You go down and then you
Look,
wake up.
scene missing.
Long rest, but
I got an achievement for having filled the food thing with just alcohol. Okay.
Graham is going to long rest.
I hit the button already. I was so excited to hit that damn button for so long.
I gotta find it again. There it is.
And
But
then
Yeah, you wake up. You are less sore and achy. Muscles aren't as tense. You are hungry, but
yeah, let's grab a late lunch, early dinner, I guess. I don't know what time it is.
yeah. So you arrive there around 9 a.m. give or take.
5 p.m. dinner, I
So,
guess. Early
Yeah.
dinner.
sounds good.
Grab food, go see the Starwell.
So yeah, as you wake up, you realize it's dark out. The sun has already gone down over the horizon. You can hear the sounds of people below, as well as the faint sound of music. You hear sounds kind of like a violin being played.
Uh-oh. Graham will investigate. Having a feeling.
Downstairs, you can see the tavern. The Thirsty Sailor has filled up. A number of people have arrived. Look like you're a standard mix of kind of middle class crowd. Bartender is serving drinks. You see a number of attendants bringing around just plates full of food to different tables. There's a musician in the corner. He just has a violin. He's playing like a kind of jaunty tune. What
Is this
would
Dandelion from The Witcher?
no?
Thank God.
And I'm not going to call him Dandelion. His name is Jaxer or whatever it was.
All right. I guess we can listen to the music while we eat.
It's kind of a sailor's tune. You would kind of recognize it as the music without the lyrics of a sea shanty.
Sea shanties. It being morning, Piffle does not dance a jig.
It is actually like 5 p.m.
Yeah, that still counts to morning.
It's 5 a.m.
After
somewhere.
the Underdark, it's morning. But does this sea shanty like make me that would know off the bat? Like the
sorry.
story behind it.
What was that?
Would the
Your audio's cutting out.
Yeah.
Would the sea shanty have some kind of story or connotation behind it that we would know?
Make a history check.
I will do that.
Yeah,
Still rolling, okay?
Yeah,
I'm not.
Like this is a somewhat popular sea shanty. Kind of tells the tale of a merchant ship that had taken a bunch of merchandise to islands around, and then like the sailor who is the narrator of this song finding love on the island but knowing that he can't stay because his true love is the sea. And you don't know if it's a very specific, like if it's an actual like person's experience or if it's just something people came up with. You do know that it's relatively popular with sailors, and you can typically will hear it on a ship if you go by. You remember hearing it several times when you were actually traveling to Viderheim in the summertime when you were started this adventure, with the exception of Fern, who did not actually do that ship trip. This song is completely foreign to Fern. She's never heard it once in her entire life.
Okay. I don't know, anything else happening here where we eat? Overhear anything of
Pick
interest?
the fantasy CNN.
If you'd like to listen in, you can make an investigation check or perception.
Yeah.
Investigation's my
Perception.
best.
Graham is kind of half listening.
Um, Fern, you just really want to listen to the song.
Hey, I really like this song.
Toe
I've never
tapper.
heard it before.
Because Otto had a tavern back in his heyday when he actually did have a spirit separated wife, and his dog was actually his dog. His horse was a dog. He knows people talk at a tavern.
Yeah. Like, Fern, you're like, listen to the song. It's a nice song. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you'd be. Graham is like half listening, more interested in a cup of mead that had been placed in front of him.
Yes. Night day drinking.
Otto, listening in, most of the talk is about the fact that the bridge separating the river and a lot of travel's been cut off on the bridge by the army stationed from Drindir and Silsanus. That's blocking the way and making things a little more difficult and cutting down the little traffic that they would experience in the wintertime. So things are a little bit tougher now. People aren't able to sell as well as they had been. That's the main thing you hear. There's a lot of talk of the war. Talk about how the army is able to kind of march quicker than anybody would expect, not really being slowed down by the snow. Seems like they have more supplies for their troops and horses than would be expected, living off the lands. Hear tale of them raiding villages that would belong to Talva's territory. Talk of the Lightning Knight being seen kind of here or there, although true to his name, they talk about how he's been seen like up by Kirog, and then the next day he's being down by Vaxval itself.
I bet there's magic involved.
Most of it just seems like rumors.
What is that? Nah, I can't think of anything off right top of my head right now.
See if there's places that are still open that we can turn in existing business and then go check on the Starwell.
I think everything is at the Starwell right here, right? Other than the sending spell.
Even that might be.
All right. Well, what business would you like to do?
Is there a goldsmith?
Like a jeweler or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you'd like to, you can make an investigation.
I will investigate with her in case she needs assistance.
Probably do. Okay. So.
Do you want separate ones or?
Yeah, we could just do separate ones.
Okay. Where's my investigation?
Okay. It's not too difficult, and you're already in a more of a market district, especially as you are closer to the Starwell. So you're able to find a jeweler that is not closed up for the night. Looks like they're getting ready to close, but outside you can see through the windows that there are a large number of different pieces of jewelry. You see rings, you see like bands that would go around like your arm, rings, necklaces, different brooches with jewels of different sizes, diamonds, sapphires, emeralds, things like that.
Okay. I need a. What is it?
A new get.
No.
44.
From a jeweler? jeweler. I need a
Cold
I
bullets.
need an acorn worth 200 gold for my summon beast spell.
Okay.
Otto does a shocked look at Fern.
It's an
Or what's
acorn,
it?
Fern. How much could it cost? 200
A,
gold.
a gilded acorn worth at least 200 gold.
Okay.
I feel like if you took 200 gold coins and melted them down, you could make a lot of golden acorns.
I'm gonna say it's out of character because Ian would just say that we were having this open conversation. It's like you could just ask Biffle to get you one for like half the price.
Pickle's definitely like idly wondering this. Like that doesn't make any sense, Fern. Where would you get a thing like that?
Look, I don't know.
I'll be
That's
right
why I
back.
want a jeweler. Do they have any acorns on necklaces or something?
Like a basketball-sized acorn.
You enter into the store, and you can see the storekeeper is a halfling man. He has a kind of like the jeweler's eyeglass on. He's like looking over a piece. As he come in, you hear the bell ring. As it looks up, ah, hello there, young rabbit girl. How may I be of assistance?
Hello, I need an acorn.
An
A golden acorn.
Ah, yes. Just one made out of gold.
Yeah, yes.
Uh,
A gilded acorn.
well, let me see here. Kind of rifles through. Just kind of like
Maybe on like a necklace, like a pendant, maybe or something.
let's see.
That I can put something inside, kind of.
You need to put something into the acorn itself, or you want to put the acorn into something?
No, I want to put something into the acorn.
Okay, let's see what we have here. He like kind of takes out a key and he just unlocks a drawer and he slides out and he places a number of pieces on the shelf in front of him on like the counter. You can see a kind of gold leaf that has been embedded with emeralds to make it appear green. Uh, Pulls out a number of different items that appear to have a kind of nature look to them before finally pulling out a small golden acorn necklace. It shows you that it actually is a locket. It shows that you can actually open it up and put things inside like pictures or something small like that. Something like that, my dear.
I need to put a feather, a tuft of fur, and a fishbone inside. So if it's that small, then yes.
Let me guess there's something a little bigger then. He kind of rifles through some more drawers and he pulls out. This would be a little bit larger, about yay big so definitely a little larger than an actual acorn, but you can see it's made out of gold. And he kind of like flips open the top of it, and you can see that it's hollow inside. He's like, you could probably put something in there, and then they can actually, if you'd like, I can alter it and put a little hole on through it, so you can thread something to make it into a necklace through it.
That's perfect.
Well, as is, it would be 200 gold. If I make it into a necklace for you, I'll tack on, let's say, an extra 10 gold to it for the labor.
Okay, 110 gold. That sounds good. 210 gold. Sounds good to me.
Okay, give me a minute. And he kind of takes out a little tool and he just very carefully, you see him like poke through a hole and he just takes a little string, a nice kind of like bit of steel wire. And he threads it through, and you can see that it like it kind of has little latches at the end that you can use as a hook it to each other and use as a necklace. And he finishes that and kind of slides it over. There you are.
Thank you so much. I'll hand him the gold.
Thank you kindly. And if you have any other needs, my jewelry shop is at your service. If you need to look fancy for any parties, gifts, rings if you're getting married, rings if You weren't planning to get married, but suddenly find yourself needing to. Wink, wink. Huh?
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
And we also even offer, because we employ some folks that had graduated from the Starwell, we do any identifying services if you come across family heirlooms that you're not sure if they're magical in nature or the like.
That could be interesting.
Did we have something like that, or I don't remember?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Okay, I thought we did. Okay, well, thank you very much, and if we need any of your services, we'll be back.
Very good. Well, we'll be closing up in about an hour or so, but if you come back tomorrow, or really any day, we'll be happy to help you out.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Yes, you as well. He just kind of goes
Leave.
putting back all the items he'd pulled out and locking them into the drawers again.
Oh god. We do have a shitload of unrefined mithril. Did we remember which place we were going to try to get that used in? We discussed it.
It was hang on. I don't remember where it was. I know in I think in Warkin they get the mithril. The
Yeah.
guy in Baxball, the smith in Baxball might know someone. But I will be winning a row if I remember anything.
If you'd like, you can make an intelligence check to try and remember.
Sure.
In every person.
If anybody who, would like to. Graham, just have
natural one. It's just so out of Graham's mind that he hasn't even thought of it.
I came through in the clutch for us.
Otto, you do remember that, yes, typically mithril is mined from the small areas where mithril can be found more surface level, surface level as far as mithril can be found. At Rorken, typically it is purchased even before it's mined. And you do recall that where a lot of smithing is done at Kirog, really any smith who is a kind of a master smith would be able to utilize making something out of mithril. So you could just really any large city with like you would expect smithing, you can definitely verify Kirog will handle it. But Talva, Vaxfall, even Drindir would have a smith like that. Of course, I don't know if you necessarily want to go to Drindir, but
probably not.
If we do, it's to sabotage their mithril smith. I say that joking, by the way. Or do I?
Well,
yeah, so when we get back to Vaxball, we can talk to Gale and the Duke about that too, because they probably would have an easier time getting us.
Well, we might be able to leverage some of the connections we've already got as well.
Yep.
Check things
We're
out.
making progress as a re-emerging adventurers guild.
One could hope. Roy. I'm trying to think of other side quests we had to complete. I'm blanking. I'm exhausted.
But you just had a long rest.
Fuck you.
I don't know about side quests.
But you do have items that could be identified. A lot of the things you need to turn in are either at Vaxfall itself or at the Starwell.
And yeah, because we have the dragon survey.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was
We do.
And not Drindir. Kirog. Is it Kirog? With the fire sticks?
You turn those in at Kirog, yeah, but they needed a little time to reverse engineer them.
Yeah, like,
the story for the author at Kirog also. Yeah, because the Sathara's redemption arc, the dragon scales, that's all Vexwall.
Yeah. And so I guess we would go to the Starwell in the morning.
We can go right now. It's kind of like what 6 o'clock-ish now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Yep. I'm munching, so I'll be muted for a second.
Okay. Well,
Mukbang.
the Starwell is very easy to find, as it's the tallest structure in town. Really, it's able to see it from wherever you are, no matter how large the buildings are. You can see that, like, the just kind of spiring tower with the kind of like bluish energy flowing from the top. As you make your way there, you can see once again the actual buildings that have been built around it, as well as being carved into it itself. Where before it was a little more bustling as you had entered, it is less busy. You see the occasional student around, but the majority of it is quiet, with primarily just staff working.
I forgot who we had to talk to about this, but let us go find people.
Okay. You had initially spoken to the headmaster.
Yep, there we go. All right. I guess we can go to lobby, ask about the headmaster. Because we were told to come back after classes were done.
All right.
And we're back in town.
Oh, can we
Ways it
find the
back.
dragon professor?
Oh yeah, and the dragon professor, the psycho,
What was his name? I don't remember it.
dragon psycho.
No.
I feel like it wasn't Dragon Psycho.
No, it wasn't.
Bob
I
Psycho?
wrote it down, but that's
Sideshow
across the
Bob.
room.
I am looking throughout my various articles. I have a lot of notes on this.
Yeah, I have it written down in a notebook, but it's across the room, and I don't want to forget it.
I feel like I need to like recombobulate my entire shit after so long. Like have a State of the Union address for the party. Except it's just figuring out what shit is going on and where.
Well, let's pick something we have to wrap up and head towards it.
Yeah, we're
We
at
are.
the
We just
Starwell.
we don't remember the person's name.
Oh, well, we can ask around.
The dragon professor's name.
Yeah, I am
Rosie,
looking.
Starwell, is that where we're going?
Yeah, so we're at the
Yes.
Starwell. We need to meet up with the headmaster for the to head to the ruins under the Starwell, and then Fern. Ian's looking for the name of the Fern's dragon survey guy. Dragon Bob is not his name.
I am definitely, yeah. There's a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So you want to. So the headmaster is the Archmage Zupan, Xupan,
That's familiar. Okay.
and then the actual professor. So there was Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Yep. Domin Steelbane was the professor of exotic creatures, and Professor Sline was the professor of magic creatures.
Oh, slime. That's it. I remember that
Zupan
one.
is for the underneath, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Should we turn in the dragon survey before
Yeah.
we go?
Turn on the dragon survey.
All right. Go find Professor Sline.
And remind me, we skinned those motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, so we have
Yeah.
we have I think 2 sets of dragon scales. We do have 2 sets of dragon scales. So we have 2 dragon heads.
Dang, we took their heads too.
Okay. So you want to talk to Professor Sline. Approaching the Starwell, you can see it has been sort of closed up for the night. There's not a lot of like there's a little bit of staff here or there. Asking around, most of them will tell you that the professors have gone home for the evening and will be back tomorrow, especially now that class is let out for the winter session.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
They do offer help if you need looking for anything. If you need any magical services done that are offered by the university, they can point you in those directions, as people working there might still be having their offices open.
I mean, I can't think of anything other than maybe like do the sending spell, if that's even open right now, and then coming back in the morning.
The staff member you talk to says, yeah, the office that does sending spells is open. They're a little congested currently, but if you pay for a priority message, and they can get one out immediately.
How big's the wait otherwise?
Now it would be close to. You could probably get it within 3 days. Get it out.
Probably best to expedite.
That would be sort of something like that. Well, you'd have to go check with the office because I can't tell you prices for that.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
Let's go get that done and then come back in the morning.
Yeah.
okay, points you to the way of the office, and you can see that there is still a light on in the office itself. A half-elf woman is got just a big stack of paper next to her, and she's just slowly going through and writing out a message, and you can see her like just dipping feather into ink and just hastily scratching out, and just you see her counting 24, 25. Okay, she takes the message and she just slides it through a little slot. She takes another piece of paper out. It's like, oh. She sees you entering. Yes. How can I help you? You sending spell you have to do.
Yeah. How much would it run us to get a priority one sent?
20 gold.
Well, we can afford it. Okay. So
I can take care of it.
needs to help me come up with the 25 words to send back home. But I'll just pay for it.
You sure?
It'll be 25 words.
We can split it.
Just get me on something else, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. She slides over a piece of paper. Just fill this out. It just shows the person we're sending it to, as well as the message. If your message is longer than 25 words, we can try and pare it down to just the core message itself.
Okay, so what do you want to send? Like other like what information do you want to send?
Where we've been and what we're doing. I'm writing a draft of it now. We're in Talva.
And Tova came from Underdark.
Yep.
And Tova came from Underdark.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 right now.
What do you have?
Went into Underdark, drow taking slaves for Elder Brain. Drove off, but it survived in Talva. And we still got some words left.
Does punctuation count?
No.
Nope, just words.
I assume
How is my tavern?
I'm trying to remember.
I'm just kidding.
Did we tell him about the deal with Sathara? I think we did, because it's been a while, but I don't recall.
I
No.
do not.
No.
You did not become allies with Sithara until you were already in the Underdark.
Gotcha.
Have robber wants redemption.
Um, doing. All right, let's see. Um, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
What did you put for the last 5?
Hang on. Uh, 6, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's what I've got so far. It's not what I'm going to send until everybody confirms. But also, I didn't want to use her name.
That's why I said have robber wants redemption. Uh,
You're good to me.
if you let's see. We got to kill one word, right?
No, I think we're at 25.
Oh, is it?
I
Did I
counted
miscount?
25.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything different then.
I'm usually fairly good at doing these, mostly because I do them all the time in my other game. Okay, I guess that's what we'll send.
Okay. You write that down. The half elven woman. It's like, and who is this going to? We need a good description.
For the web, I
Title.
think it was.
Yeah, Carter Webb and Graham will describe him, and I like to think we should be able to do that fairly well.
Should be good enough. All right. She takes that. Takes your money. She kind of like
I
raps
guess
on
you could.
like. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying. I guess you could put wants to be redeemed for good behavior too, or wants redemption. That one's up to you though, but I'm good with that. Ian looks frozen.
I'm just waiting for you to decide.
No, that one's for Matt. Is like I don't know if you wanted to
Um,
do it that way or just say that she wants to a redemption to redeem herself.
I think we can probably explain the
Okay.
more of that later. For now, just we have her, but also we're working with her. I think
Okay.
communicates more of the deal.
Okay, I'm good with that. Send away.
Okay. She takes the paperwork. She like raps on the wood panel that she'd been sliding the other paperwork through. Like we have a priority. From a door out behind her, you just see a looks more like a student. You can see like ink stained fingers, wizard's robe, and a hat. Hat itself is kind of like bent over. Is like bags on the eyes of this human man. Is like, all right, Silva, that's the last of it. I'm out of I'm tapped out for the night. He looks. All right, takes the paper. Okay. You see him chant the words. You can see waving his hands in front. You can see the magic appear. You can feel the magical kind of like echo in his voice. And after a moment, the spell is sent. He repeats the words, and then, all right, got a response. He writes it all down, hands it over. There you go. That's it for the night.
Right.
On the
Thank you
paper, it
kindly.
says, "Good to hear you're alive. Return to Vaxval safely once you are able."
Yeah. That's about what I expected. I assume that means no news on their end. Unless it's something he couldn't put into a message. All right, thank you guys very much. Y'all have a nice night now.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
The woman, like, you see her light up another candle and just goes back to just, like,
Ugh.
writing words, like, pulling out pages. Pulls out, like, a thick sheet of paper. And she's like, this in 25 words.
That's rough, buddy.
Ah, hey, Fern. You kind of feel
Yeah.
like Hank tugging.
Yes,
I was
thanks.
snapping.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we?
Starwell.
Weren't we underground a while ago?
Yep.
We were. We've been out. We slept. We took a nap as well, and then now we're in Tava.
Tava's not underground though.
Yeah, we're out from underground. We got teleported out.
You can teleport. Oh, I didn't know you could teleport. Why didn't you do it earlier?
We didn't do it.
We
Was
were
it
getting
his dad-
blocked by the
Was it his dad that
spooky
got
elder
us out?
brain.
Your
Wait.
dad came by, but you were sleeping.
You didn't wake me up, and my dad.
He didn't want to wake you up.
This is why, Otto. This is why people always talk shit about you behind your back.
Are you people?
Yes.
Hank, I can just abandon you in a river.
Yeah, well, I can make myself look like a fanny pack, and then when you put your hand in me, I bite it off. So think about that, huh?
Yeah, but I don't wear fanny packs.
You
I would just
will.
throw you,
They're coming back into fashion.
Hank. But you're gonna be in a river.
I can swim.
You can't.
You don't know me.
Fine. I'm gonna throw you in the river and you can swim. You're gonna show me?
No.
Can we please stop arguing with the bag friend?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
The bag will argue with you pretty much indefinitely.
Do not try to argue with the bag.
your
The bag
balls.
will win.
Fern.
Otto would
Yes.
just feed Hank rocks until he sunk to the bottom of the.
Can we go by a bookstore? I want to get a book about pirates.
We'll probably have to do that tomorrow because I think they're closed now.
You haven't even checked. You don't know.
Everything was closing already.
Let's just swing by a bookstore real quick, buy a couple dozen books about pirates, and we'll go to bed.
Let's just find a bookstore so he shuts up.
Okay, let's see if we can find a bookstore on our way back to the inn then.
Haha, yes. Pirates. Make an investigation check if you would like to look for a bookstore.
I'm not gonna really look for a bookstore like
I
very
will-
seriously. That's
I
about
will.
what I was gonna probably do.
Can I get the
Oh, look!
I mean, Otto, you're able to find a bookstore. In fact, you're pretty close to one. While Graham and Fern are looking around, they don't really notice the sign, but you do.
Look, Hank, a bookstore.
Haha, it's open too.
Is it? Oh, it's open.
Well, not for
It's
long,
not-
but I don't need to look for long. I just need to go in and get a book about pirates.
Out of character. Does he
Okay.
actually know how to read?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah,
Okay. I
He's
don't know
been
if you read.
reading-
I don't remember. It's been a while.
he's been reading the
He could just be
the
thinking he's reading.
J.K. Klein books.
He
Or,
could-
Are you saying that Hank might be Jason Statham?
he literally
Anyway.
threw a book at my head.
That doesn't mean he read it. All right, let's go.
I threw the book at your head out of love, Fern, obviously.
Okay.
That's how bags of holding.
While
Whatever.
he's talking, I'm just gonna go into the bookstore and ask, "Do you have
That's just-
pirate books? I have a child that wants to read pirate books."
You see the person in the bookstore. We do have like picture books about pirates, if that's what you're interested in.
No, they want legends and tall tales and stuff, and maybe pictures too. Whatever. I'll take the picture books also.
Yes, we have plenty of books about pirates. We have history books about pirates. We have fiction about pirates. Are you looking for like maybe like high seas adventure? There's romance novels we have about pirates.
I will
Hank
take
is all of the above.
adventure history, one picture book, and one romance novel. That's for the missus.
Okay. Well, let's take a look here. So, he pulls out a picture book. You can see that the pages have just these very bright, colorful pictures of very stylized pirates. There are words, but it's very simple sentences. Says like a children's pirate adventure. Looks to be also a primer. A is for adventure on the high seas. B is for battling Kraken. C is for
Capsizing.
yeah, things like that. The history is
I heard
a
you laughing.
thicker book. It contains a lot of information about pirates, Viderheim. It is kind of a dry book from what little you can see of it, but it does seem like it's very kind of packed full of information about pirates. It talks about history of pirates, stretching back a good few hundred years. Flipping through, you can see it mentions things like Pearl Island. It even does mention the original pirate admiral who attacked Vaxfall decades ago. Um, there is a fictional novel that does cover pirates. This one is a historical fiction. You can tell while it references real pirates and real places and events, that the actual characters within it are fictional, and it kind of weaves together the bit of history that you might read in the actual pirate history book with fictional events in a pretty well crafted manner. And then the final novel is a romance. You can see an elven woman who is wearing a rather low cut dress. She's being held by a very buff pirate man. His shirt is this kind of white shirt, but you can see it's been torn open. It has a very flowery language describing the events in the novel, and it just describes like a woman who is orphaned and is being sent to go live with some distant relatives, and her ship gets attacked by pirates, and she gets captured by the handsome pirate captain, and like you just kind of what you read on like the back cover.
Your eyes slowly glazing over.
And it just
These are all perfect. Thank you. How much do I owe you?
It's silver a book, so just 4.
Okay, I will give him 4 silver.
Thank you. He just slides over the books. Do you need those in a bag or wrapped up or anything for a present?
That's just a bag is fine.
He just kind of like pulls out like a very basic bag, and he just puts them inside and slides it over. There you are.
Thank you, sir. And you have a great night, and I just leave.
Okay.
Here you go, Hank.
Books, pirates.
I got one of each for you.
He looks at the bodice ripper one and is like, "This is a Kaido one."
That's exactly why I bought it.
Kaido's a little drunk.
He might be a little young for this, though.
He's a midnight golfer.
This isn't quite my kind of pirate. Fern, is this your kind of pirate book?
No.
Exciting idle game.
We'll
No,
give
I
it
think
to
yeah,
Kaido later.
I think it's the other one. I don't know if we're talking about Kaido's book.
Which one?
Which one are we talking about, Ian?
He the romance book.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Kaido book.
I think you got that for Kaido.
I'll take a picture book. That's also for Kaido.
I mean,
Don't want
maybe
this
you'll like
man.
the drawings. I don't know.
The drawings are cheap and basic. They're obviously made by magic. And you
just
know I
think about,
disagree with magically created pictures.
Just think about how you'll look in those pictures once you're a great pirate captain.
I thought you wanted to be a wizard, but you don't like magically created pictures.
No, it's cheap and lazy, and it takes away from the effort of real artists.
Are you a real artist?
No, but
Will
I
you
Oh.
can
be a real
critique.
artist?
I can
He's like,
critique.
coaches don't play.
Anyway, I can be a pirate and I can be a wizard. I can be a pirate wizard or a wizard pirate.
Okay.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
You just gotta
Right.
get a peaked cap like a wizard, but you got a little scroll and crossbones on it, like a pirate. Anyway, I will take the historical and I will take the fiction, and also we got to stop by a hat store so I can get a pirate hat.
I thought you just wanted to add the scroll and crossbones to your wizard hat.
Yeah, I could do that. Can
Don't question him, Fern.
I might need some help with that. I'm not an artist.
Okay, I will help you
Haha! Hooray!
if you let me read the books with you.
Yes. Would you like
Cool.
me to read them to you, or do you read them to me, or what do we do? Do we
I
like
thought
have a
would just
book
take
club?
turns.
Are we
Sure.
starting a book? Okay, a book club it is. We'll call it book buddies.
book buddies? Okay. Sounds
And
good.
nobody else but you and I are invited, unless we really
Oh.
want them to.
The contract
Okay.
is sealed.
No Kaido. 'Cause
Okay.
That's why we got him the
Kaido's
picture book,
allowed.
Hank.
he says he's smart.
Do you believe him?
I don't know. I've seen him cast a spell here or there, but anybody can do that. I've seen a damn unicorn cast a spell.
You seen a unicorn?
Yeah, it was delicious.
Oh.
Well,
Well.
And let's go back.
just pause button on that one. We're gonna reel that one back in a minute here.
My dad summoned a unicorn, but he didn't really appreciate when I took a bite out of it. But on the other hand, that unicorn shouldn't have been so delicious. So
I thought you were gonna do that unicorn was being a real dick though. Yeah, I don't know what that unicorn's problem was.
I gotta tell you right now, unicorn meat is the tastiest meat I've ever had in my entire life.
I believe you.
Mm.
I wake up at night in a cold sweat, thinking
I
I could
assume-
get some more
I
unicorn
assume
meat.
we're walking back toward the end while this conversation is happening.
Anyway, pirates. Let's see here. Fictional pirates. Or should I start with the history so I understand the context behind the fictional pirates?
Do the
That was a
history
good
first.
idea.
I'll start with the history. This is written by Joshua Foote. What? Okay, whatever. You arrive back at the inn.
Yep.
Okay. You can see now it's much more full. The music was more jaunty before, but now the man with the violin is playing a kind of more somber tune. Something a little more downbeat, but music's good. People are drinking. People are eating. Bartender is got like a
Bartending.
bunch of people in front on the bar itself. Sees you enter. Ah, coming in. And get a drink. Get some food.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
Josh.
All right, we got mutton, mashed potatoes. Got some gravy for it all. And what's your drink of choice?
I'll take some whiskey if you got it.
Okay.
Hmm.
He reaches under and he pulls out like a little kind of jar of whiskey. Here you go. This is the good stuff.
Ah, bless you. How much for the bottle?
Let's say a gold.
Done. Graham tops up the party whiskey flask
Da-da-da.
and enjoys a good stiff drink himself.
I can't wait till you get a magically imbued flask where it's bottomless.
And I can't wait till I have to become a lich to protect myself from cirrhosis.
And then you just turn the tab on like the top of your whiskey flask and it tells you what kind of alcohol you get.
It does seem like the kind of magic item I would do.
Just get an alchemical jar so you can have beer, honey, or mayonnaise.
Yeah. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, my other game has gone into this territory.
A gallon of mayonnaise.
But then again, in that game, my character is the strange thing that happens to people. We ran into bandits, and I just went up and put a hand on one shoulder and said, "I'm gonna need you to don't." And then that turned into a fight, and every single turn as we were laying waste, and it was like, all you had to do was don't. The whole party got in on it.
One day you'll have an alchemical jug, and then you can have all the mayonnaise you desire.
Good.
All right, onward.
If you want a room, same deal. 5 silver.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a will be a gold for the 2 rooms.
Thank you kindly. You got that one?
Yeah, I got this one.
Nice.
Okay. You already have the keys, so and you know where they are.
Thanks.
You go upstairs. Do you do anything before bed?
I
Read a
mean, I'm
pirate
just gonna
book.
study my Underdark book. That's about it.
You can see Hank very eagerly reading his pirate book.
I'll read the other pirate book.
Okay, hold on. He reaches inside and he pulls out the picture book. This one?
No.
He pulls out the romance book. This one?
No, the other one.
He pulls out the adventure novel. Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
It's not even slimy.
Oh.
Cool.
That's good.
Yes, it
Good
is.
Good job, Hank.
I didn't expect it to be, but now I do.
It's in my stomach. Your stomach's slimy, right? I've never seen the inside of it, so I couldn't say for sure, but
It does seem like a reasonable guess.
Yeah.
technically what it is a bag of holding is kind of like inside me, but I'm also the bag of holding itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now that I say it, but it's really kicked off an existential like thought process for me. What am I?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're a Hank. That's all.
I'm a Hank. Horrifying.
Yes. Quite horrifying. Okay,
He
so
continues reading his book. He just ignores you. All right.
He's just like tourists.
I'm gonna, since we're gonna get another long rest, can we just assume that I summon Reggie out in like the stables or something?
Yep.
For, like for future purpose. Okay.
Take 10 minutes, but you're able to summon Reginald, Sir Reginald. The horse appears in front. I believe he was white.
Yes.
Yep. The nice white horse appears in front of you. You hadn't seen him in a little while, but he returns.
Leonardo.
The telepathic bond between you and Sir Reginald reestablished. Ah, Otto. Good.
You missed some crap out there, buddy. Didn't want you to see some of that.
Good crap or bad crap?
Bad.
Well, then I'm glad I missed it. But it's good to be back. We're in town. That's good.
Oh yeah, better than the Underdark with an Elder Brain.
The Elder what now?
That's a giant brain that's controlling things, and like, remember the Shaper thing?
You know what? I'm gonna just leave you with that one. This is probably something I'm better off not knowing.
Yeah.
I'm a horse. I'm playing that card. I'm taking advantage of that.
Yeah, you don't want to know about this.
Technically, he's the soul of a dog turned into a horse. Technically an angel horse, but yeah.
Angel horse.
Someday he'll be a dog again. We can hope.
I mean, theoretically, you could turn me into a dog now. I just don't
No, I
think you
mean
could ride me.
he will return to his
A big
dog
dog.
form, happily alive,
Well,
type of thing.
you know, funny enough, I don't. Did we ever decide what kind of dog he was? Like a mastiff or a terrier?
I don't know. I have not decided that because I didn't actually really think about like, hey, is it possible to bring him back at the end of all of this like shit show?
Technically, yes.
I will have to see. He's not going to be a pug though. Actually, I almost want to make him a pug so he can give Kaido fucking PTSD.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
Pug traumatic stress disorder.
Yes. But for now, we don't know. Just Otto knows, and Otto doesn't disclose that.
All right. Well, anyway, I will. If you need me to carry Kaido again, let me know. He's a bit of a sleepy fellow.
Hopefully not. He's got problems.
I think he left his mind in like the astral sea. He's
Yeah,
like got three different adventures going on at the same
he's
time we're
got
doing everything.
problems, buddy. Like,
Well, hopefully one day he returns to consciousness, his liver undamaged.
that that's hard to
It's
see.
good to temper your expectations there, Reggie.
It's like maybe.
Well,
Also, that you know that Aurora apparently knows can climb walls, so we don't actually need Kaido to lift her up anymore.
she could have done that the whole time?
Apparently.
I see. Well, that's
I think she
fascinating.
just wanted to mess with him.
She just likes to be carried like a lapdog.
I see. Well, either way, I am going to. I guess I'll stay in the stable with. He looks at the mules and he looks at the ostrich.
Yeah,
All right then.
that's Charlie, by the way.
Good. Yes, Charlie. I believe we've met before.
I believe you did too. I don't know if he was around, like Reggie was around when Fiffle named him.
Well, it's
That
good.
one, I don't know.
I don't speak ostrich, but I suppose it is good to make his acquaintance.
Cool. I don't think Charlie speaks Celestial either, so.
He's a good ostrich.
I can
Just don't. If he looks hungry, just stay a few feet away.
I fortunately can understand the common tongue. Not that others can understand me. However, you can, Otto, because of our telepathic bond.
Yep.
Well then, I will be resting, and I will watch over the animals. If anything occurs, I shall be sure to inform you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, buddy.
You're quite welcome, Otto. All right. Did anybody wish to do anything else?
I'm sure I'm gonna regret it because I won't think of it until after we're done. But at the moment, no.
I am just remove Curse of Thara.
Oh yeah, Graham will spend a spell slot on that.
Okay.
Actually, how long does it last? 24 hours?
Yeah.
Graham will have cast it right before we went to bed, so I've got a spell slot back, though I'll probably need to cast it again before long anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do long rest, so might as well re-up it now, so at least it lasts until the end of the night, the next long rest.
That's more or less what I'm at, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cast the
Uh,
remove curse on Sathara.
And now I am just studying my Underdark book.
Okay. Hank continues to read his book. And with nothing else, we will fast forward to tomorrow morning.
Hooray!
So you get another long rest. You are greeted by the kind of chirping of birds. The sun is coming through the window. The room is warm. You can feel like the heat coming from the vent in the room itself. You can see frost covering the window and a bit of snow falling from the sky. What would you all like to do now that you have had a long rest?
Breakfast
Go
and
to
Barwell.
Yeah.
Okay. Downstairs, the bartender's serving breakfast. You can see he's cutting like thick pieces of like a thick slice of bacon off, resting it on a plate. He has some cooked potatoes that he's chopped up, eggs, fresh bread that he's applied a little bit of butter to.
Nice.
Drizzles a little honey on the side as well. And he's like, yeah, and we got we're a little fancier, so we can get a good drink called coffee.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a lot of places can get the beans, but we got them.
We're thinking about those beans. Graham will have some of this delightful concoction.
You wanted some sugar or milk or anything in it? Cream?
Yeah. That sounds just fine.
He adds a little sugar. He adds some milk to it. Right from the cow. Well, not right from the cow. We bottle it up first, but
But after that,
yeah. But yeah, here you go. It's like a nice with the milk added to it. You can see that it's made it kind of like the dark black of the coffee has turned into like a lighter shade. Steam is coming off of it. The coffee hot, strong, but very good. Kind of perks you up a little bit.
nice. That sounds delightful.
Can I get the rest of you anything?
Yeah, I got a coffee too. Try this
Yeah,
out.
me too.
He serves up coffee. All right, it'll be 2 silver for breakfast and coffee.
Okay. That's for everybody?
For each one's gonna be 2 silver.
Okay. Graham will pay
Okay.
2 silver.
Yep.
All right. But yeah, the coffee strong. For Fiffle and Fern, the large cup of coffee in front is rather large. It's rather more than you're expecting, but
Piffle examines his reflection in his deep cup of coffee.
Maybe
Plays
we
the
should have
Earthbound
split
music.
one.
Fiffle, you can see that your face is distorted in the coffee as it kind of like ripples, having been moved. Just reflected in that kind of like light brown color.
Mmm. I look good.
The steam kind of like flowing from the coffee, kind of like getting into your face, making a little damp. You don't have glasses, so they don't fog up, but
I will drink the coffee.
the coffee is hot. It is strong. You can feel like the real like powerful flavor in it. You feel it kind of perk you up a little bit.
He's got the zoomies.
The breakfast itself, very good. Nice thick cuts of like a salted bacon. The bread is fresh, tastes very good, especially with the honey drizzled on it. The cut potatoes, delicious. Got some salt, different herbs sprinkled on it. And the eggs, good. Add a little salt, very, very good. It's a nice thick breakfast, very warm, very filling.
Mm.
Yeah, keep you warm. Snow is coming. Expecting to get some snow here or there for the next few days.
You reckon we'll be able to make it down the roads to Vaxfall?
I mean, it's winter time here, so it's going to be pretty difficult going this roads no matter what in the winter. Don't see terribly much foot traffic in wintertime, but yeah, I would say enough. I would say, give it sleds here or there that are going to pack the snow down. I have the trail wardens running around, so the main roads will be pretty well marked out. You shouldn't have too much trouble. Just make sure to bed down at a town here or there whenever it gets nighttime. If you don't think you're going to be able to make it to the next town, just bed down at a town before too late. You should be okay.
Makes sense.
And
All right.
plenty of towns along the roads.
Through that.
Yeah, maybe you could get like hire like a sleigh or somebody to take you down. At least keep you safe. Mostly.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, you think you need more rooms?
I think we're probably good for now, though. If not, we can always come back.
Okay. Well, we'll be here if you need us. The thirsty sailors always got a room. Unless we sell them out, in which case we don't.
Suppose that covers their options.
It's a good job of it.
But if you don't have a room, we'll at least got you a drink. And a nice meal. And good music and good atmosphere.
Yeah, much appreciated after being away for so long. Thank you again.
Yeah, you're welcome. And another bottle of whiskey for the road.
You know what? Yeah.
Pulls out another
I'll
bottle.
buy another bottle of whiskey.
That'll be a gold for this whiskey here, but it's a good
Done and
stuff.
done.
This is made by my cousin. He floats it down the river up in Kirog. So I make sure to get as much of it as I can before winter sets in. It'll keep you warm. It'll really if you're cold, have yourself a drink of that, and you'll feel nice and warm inside. Don't
So you freeze to death.
don't go outside and drink it and take a nap. You won't be waking up. But if you get in from outside and you're cold, have a better drink of it and it'll warm you up.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Outside, the air is cold, biting. You can see the snow coming down, steady pace. Most people aren't really on the road. Snow itself building up along the rooftops, kind of falling into your hair and melting. Looks very pretty, but definitely very cold.
I guess head toward the Starwell.
Okay.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
do the thing.
As you approach the Starwell, takes you about 20 minutes to get there. More lively now than it was when you went there last night. You can see more of the staff, students there. The offices themselves are open. As you enter in, you can see a lot more hustle as people are kind of running around taking care of different things. What would you all like to do?
Well, let's hand in this survey for Fern. And then
Yeah.
Go
we'll
report
talk
in on what we
about,
found.
to the headmaster.
Okay. You head to the office for Professor Slime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Professor Slime.
You can see him there, and he is. You can see that actually his name is imprinted on the wall itself. You can see that there has been a bit of
An accident.
graffiti or a kind of defacement, as his name on the door has been altered to say Slime.
Of course.
Yeah.
A custodian is attempting to clean it off, but his attempts at using prestidigitation to remove it are being thwarted. He's just you hear him kind of mutter, swear, just a string of swears to himself as he's trying to get this to change back to the correct term, slime. The professor himself is inside just reading a book.
I guess we'll knock on the door. Hi, Professor Slime.
Ah, good. Yes, I've seen the students. Winter prank.
I
They've
see that.
gotten quite good with their magic. Anyway, yes, the dragon. Were you able
Yeah.
to the questionnaire?
Yes and no.
I don't think he'll be very happy about the answers, but they wrote something.
I like the yes. I'm not a big fan of the no. May I see this questionnaire?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll hand him the questionnaire.
They weren't friendly.
He takes the thick bundle of questions. Just,
Yeah, those guys are dead now. They
they were
take peace for an answer.
very rude.
They answered it because they were intending to just eat us, basically.
I see. They certainly. I guess on the plus side, it gives me an idea of juvenile dragon humor. I could probably write a paper on that. They sure do talk a lot about how they're going to eat you.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
Also, their breath stinks of noxious poison.
Ah, green
I think
dragons.
they were right. Yeah, yeah, they were green. Yep.
Yep.
Wait, can we give him one of the dragon scales?
No, this is
Oh,
for
okay.
artificer quests.
We have I thought we had a whole lot of
I
them.
don't know if he I don't know. He just I don't even remember what he was studying. Just like their habits. I don't know what scale is gonna help.
Won't hurt. Specifically, though, I am interested in the anthropological idea, like the study of dragons, their habitats, their movement, culture, um, various things that they can do, the actual physiology and health of them. So it's all fascinating. I'll definitely be looking at this questionnaire and trying to see if I can parse out truth from their more juvenile sense of humor, as they
They like to do
certainly
drive-bys, or should I say flybys?
they certainly talk a lot about how a lot of these answers certainly revolve a lot about your mother, but
Kids is kids, as it turns out.
Yeah.
and they've drawn quite a number of phallic imagery within
Do
this.
they have like the draconic version of the S?
It's a D.
Hmm.
And that's set in Dragon's Rules, spelled incorrectly within the draconic script.
The dragon's rule number one.
Well, it's knowledge. It's knowledge. I can't complain about that. Thank you. You've done me. I will admit it's been a while. Did I offer you a reward for this?
Yeah.
Don't remember.
I
This
don't
is not me
remember.
trying to fleece him in character. This is me trying to remember 8 years ago.
I do believe I would offer you a reward for this.
Yeah, what you got?
I could give you 50 gold right now.
Hmm.
I don't remember what I said.
I feel like we did a lot of wandering in the snow and fighting dragons for this.
You're not wrong. There was a lot of both of that.
And there was a lot of possible death and anger.
I can get you 80 gold. I mean, I don't know. If I offered you more, I could get you. Sorry, these. I've been trying to grade my students' papers, and I gotta tell you,
If you tell me the dragons have a better command of the language, I'm gonna be sad.
well, I mean, dragons are very intelligent creatures.
I mean the
They
juveniles.
also probably don't drink quite as bit as my students.
If you want to loosen them up.
Might depend on the dragon.
And frankly, these essay questions have been less
Insulting.
than. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of professor who prides himself on having a good portion of the class fail, but maybe I might. There's going to be a curve in the grade. I can tell you that. I mean, for one, some of these students here have been
80's
talking
fine, I
about
guess.
how dragons are. One student argues they're birds. They're a form of birds. I don't even know where to begin with that one. Anyway,
I'm not seeing anything here. 80 is fine, then I would assume.
he just puts counts out 80 gold coins and he slides it over. There you go. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
20 for everybody, right?
Itch.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna write this down. 80 gold for dragon survey.
Yeah, we can fuck with that later.
Oh, did you find anything else concerning dragons up in the north?
I want to say yes, but again, please work with me here. I'm so dumb.
We've
There's
there was-
apparently someone riding an ancient red dragon.
Yes.
Ah,
Ah, interesting. You know, that actually is an interesting area of discussion. Dragons are intelligent and rather prideful creatures. They typically don't like to be ridden. You know, that does lead to some rather interesting thoughts. He just goes to a bookcase, kind of like runs his finger along the covers until he finds a book, and he pulls out, and it's a very old book, kind of dusty. He just puts it on the desk, and it just blows, and a bunch of dust flies off of it. He opens it, and he just kind of flips through. He's like, yes, this actually relates to distant ancestors of mine, but this would be the ancient elven kingdom. They actually used to have dragon riders. Their warrior wizards would form connections with dragons, and would they would start by raising dragons young. They would form friendships and familial bonds with the dragons, and have a partnership where they would actually ride dragons, at least according to the legends. Admittedly, the actual archaeological effects of the Elven kingdoms is a little bit difficult, as a lot of it was unfortunately scrubbed away when the Arwellan Empire engaged in the Scourge, removing a lot of our more hopeful archaeological sites. But it's kind of a fascinating feature.
I can't remember. Like, so out of character, I can't remember this guy's name, and it's not in our
Sharp.
sheet. Sharp. There we go. So, okay, that's all. I was just trying to remember. Was he Elvish?
He's human. He's human. Anyway, even elves haven't ridden dragons, and that's if it's true. I mean, it very well could have been an attempt to ride dragons that failed. Could have been an analogy. It could have been simply fake dragons. Could have been illusions that they conjured up to scare away their foes. Could have been all sorts of different things. But we did find a small archaeological site that did have dragon bones that had been buried with elven bones as well, along with some armor and weaponry. Um, Long lances that would be far too long to use on horseback, but would have been excellent to use on dragonback. Which does lead us to believe that it actually probably was most likely the case that something happened at least one single time.
Makes sense.
But that's a fascinating concept.
So, the writer was human,
That
not Elvish.
Now that is an interesting one. I've heard of people attempting to ride dragons, forming connections with dragons. Rare. There are the occasional dragon knight or rangers that have formed bonds with dragons. Um, these are nothing that would be systemic. There was no organization based around this. It would be more of a unique occurrence that you shouldn't expect to actually have occurred. The theory with the ancient elven kingdoms involves an actual organization based around hatching and training and forming these bonds and partnerships with dragons, where we could expect to see them in probably the thousands is what we can see in the writings. If that's exaggerated, we could not say for sure. Hopefully not, as that would be a very fantastic thing. However, we've only been able to find one single grave site that contained only a small amount of dragon and elven bones, and that doesn't even necessarily mean anything per se, because they could have simply been buried together. Doesn't necessarily mean rider and dragon, but the evidence does point to that. Of course, that's more of a historical effect. I'm more of interested in actual living, breathing dragons currently, but the disciplines cross over.
I assume this burial site's already been excavated and explored already.
Yes, it has. And now, although an ancient red dragon, now that's fascinating. An ancient red dragon would be many, many hundreds of years old, as dragons can live near indefinite lifespans. Theoretically, most dragons don't die of old age; they die of violence typically. So it's entirely possible that a dragon that survives would just get older and larger. Uh, where something like that would be is unknown. As they get larger, they need more food, making it more difficult for them to hide. So having a dragon just like a dragon that size, the ancient dragons, you wouldn't see them here. They, at best, you might see them far to the north, where giants live, and there's not a lot of way of civilization, or at least knowledge, that comes down to the south. But we do occasionally see Goliath tribe members, Orcish tribe members, or even some of the more nomadic Elvish and Dwarvish and occasionally human tribes that send people down. But they've never really reported anything large and ancient up there, at least recently. So that's a fascinating concept of where something like that could, where an ancient red dragon could actually be. So I'll tell you what, I could actually. I'm going to have to task you with a more open ended errand to see if you can discover more about these ancient dragons.
Okay.
You can give it a whirl.
We can give that the
Yeah.
old college try.
Literally.
Okay, let me do this. Find more about ancient dragons. I think your quest log gets bigger and bigger.
That's what they do.
Okay. So we good.
And I would also recommend just being careful, as dragons, as they get older, are more dangerous, more intelligent, more magically capable.
Yep.
Keep our eyes open.
Have a tendency to be able to breathe, especially the red ones, breathe a lot of fire. So if you have any way to defend yourself against fire, recommend it. But they also are very strong in general and can just bite you pretty well.
But okay. So that's I think we're done here, right?
Well, I have nothing else. Unless you want to discuss dragons, of course.
I mean, I'd love to discuss dragons, but we also need to talk to the headmaster, Zupan. He wants us to investigate something underneath.
Oh, yes, of course. He's in his office, up more in the Starwell.
Yep. We'll go talk to him, and we'll keep you in mind when we discover more dragon stuff.
Of course, yes. He goes back to reading his book. You've been in the halls of the actual Starwell. You do see the signs that point up to the headmaster's office.
Okay, so off we go.
Okay.
I forgot if he had like a secretary or something. I doubt it. Maybe. I don't know.
He'd have assistants that would assist him, yeah.
Hello, assistant of Zupan.
Yeah, you see a older woman kind of at a desk there. Yes? You wish to speak to the headmaster?
Yes. He had something he wanted investigated underneath.
I'll go get him. One moment.
Okay.
She goes into the office, returns a moment later. Please head in. He's ready to see you.
Okay.
Heading inside, you see the Archmage Zupan. He sitting at the desk. The office itself is kind of stuffed with various different, just like wall-to-wall magical items, bookcases that cover the entirety. They're just filled with books. A number of stuffed animals, things like mundane as like a stuffed alligator to more exotic creatures, including mounted the head of a chul on the wall. The eyes have been put out and replaced with kind of like glass beads of the same size. A number of different kinds of little vials set up around for just a bunch of like alchemical work, as well as dozens of scrolls having been rolled out. The headmaster himself is sitting at a desk. You see him kind of like writing away at a number of parchment. A pseudo dragon kind of fluttering around, just sitting on a little cushion, just stretches out and yawns before going back to sleep. He sees you. Ah, good, good. Class is out. So if you're all available, I had hoped you could explore the kind of basement of the Starwell. Now, if you remember correctly, what had occurred was a wall had been broken open. We found it had been sealed up, and it looks like it had been sealed up to cover a area below the Starwell itself that was being used as a laboratory, probably by various artificers, possibly even by Zaf Feller himself, as well as containing a number of experiments done by various mages and wizards of Arwell. So we would love for you to be able to head down, clear out any dangers that you encounter down there, and hopefully be able to make things easier. If possible, don't cause any damage, as we would love to study it. And if you're able to do this, we'll be willing to work out a payment for you. So I suppose let's negotiate.
Oh God. We could possibly ask them to take off the cost of like a teleport back to Voxfall as part of the payment. Like when we're done, they just send us straight back to save time.
Yeah, I do like this.
Well, there's an interesting thought. So, we have been looking through a number of items that you had actually been able to uncover. So, there was a bakery in Vaxfall, and underneath was a hidden laboratory. Now, I believe you had been the ones who had actually gone down there and cleared it out initially.
Mhm.
Yep, this is correct. There's also one, I think, in Kosa, right?
That is correct, yes. And the various books we found there and journals, we were able to get those from the academy there using a little bit of political pressure. They were sent up here, and we were able to uncover the fact that there actually may be a Farcaster unit below Starwell itself. So we could actually send you back to Vaxfall using that Farcaster unit once it's been reestablished.
Okay.
Right.
The most likely option with it is that it is at the very bottom, as it is probably tapped into the Starwell itself.
Hmm.
The Starwell being the magic that remains at the very top of this academy itself. The academy being named after the Starwell. Which is the magic that
Yeah.
flows through. Yes. Sorry, most people, most of my students ask me all about it. Why is it named Starwell? Why is the Starwell Academy? Because of the Starwell at the very top. The academy is named after the actual physical feature at the top of this tower that is forms the academy itself, relating to what we believe to be ancient elven kingdoms' interest in astrology and astronomy. But the point is, it utilizes magic to form a more power, as well as a magic nexus to form the actual network between the various Farcaster units.
Out of
Okay.
character, I think we got the okay from at least the Academy and Voxball to use it freely.
Yep.
And okay. And I guess they would also, I'm trying to remember this. They would agree to this. Or what did we need to get permission from Tolva?
Well, if you can clear out the area there and reestablish connection to the Farcaster unit, I would be perfectly happy to give you permission to use it. Our understanding is that it would take about a day to recharge, So you
No,
can't use it every day, as we would need to
no,
keep it for
every other
testing.
day.
Let's say, uh, let's say a reasonable time frame, as long as you're not using it every day. I would be happy with that. Every other day might be pushing it, but I imagine you're probably not going to need to
No,
utilize it every other day.
no, it would probably be once in a.
Nah.
Whenever we need to traverse big distances in short time.
Okay. Well, that's certainly something we can work out. Um, is there anything else? Would you just be, because mind you, there's possibly and more likely than not a number of very magically active items and the like down there. We would
Yes.
prefer that you not disturb those so that they be cataloged and properly studied within the Starwell Academy itself. And in return, we can give you gold.
Fair.
There might be
How would
ones that are
we?
worth us keeping a hand on in our for our own business, though. We
We
might be able to negotiate those.
Yeah.
we can negotiate that. The other thing we might want to keep in mind, we don't really know what they do. We would have to do identification. So what we could also arrange is an identification service to ensure that you're actually able to identify what the object is in question. And of course, you don't have to be limited to just what's below the Starwell itself. If you come across any other items within your travels, we'd be happy to identify them for you, so long as we can get a brief write up on them and add them to our, not the item itself, but the write up to our collection, as we're interested in the various magic items and being able to categorize them and eventually put them into the books of magical items that we publish.
Makes sense.
Yep. Is there my last question is there any way we can contact you other I don't know, maybe an item they can send a sending spell so when we do need to use this that we make sure we're all on the same page.
He pulls out two stones. They are kind of rectangular in shape. Here you go. Sending stones. They are connected
Beautiful.
to each other, so you can send me a sending spell once a day, and I can
Sounds
respond in
good.
kind.
Sounds good.
Now, did you have anything that you wish to do before I take you down to the basement? Now, mind you, once you're down there, we are going to be closing. There is currently a magic shield we've placed in front. We are going to remove the shield to allow you to go down, and then once you are inside, we will return the shield back to full strength, just to ensure that nothing from the lab down there flows back up into the actual academy
Well,
itself.
Makes
understandable.
sense.
So I'd
I'm gonna look
recommend
at
preparing before you actually truly go down there.
I'm gonna look at the party and see if everybody's
Yeah.
ready.
Let's maybe
Magic healing potions.
yeah, we'll also want to tell the people what we're doing because I don't think we're going to be bringing like Star and Kaido there. That also means if we're down there longer than a day, then the curse is going to kick back in, which isn't like a death sentence, but it might cause shenanigans.
I
Well,
know how I just want to say out of care. I like how we're literally like ingrained that this thing is really gonna fuck us over.
I mean, if past is prologue,
I mean, I'm good with getting any potions or anything like that. We did have some crap to sell though. If you look at the top of the sheet,
yep, sell whatever you'd like.
you
I
know, just
can,
look at the sheet.
mind you, the winter session. We're not expecting classes to resume again for a month. So long as you're not going to take a month to prepare.
No plan to take a month because we do need to get back to basketball.
like
I assume a couple hours.
I definitely think we need to spend some time outside a game to recombobulate. At least I do.
Maybe take a day and then come back tomorrow once you've had time to prepare, and we can bring you down there. Personally, I'd recommend, yes, go shopping, resupply anything you may need, get some healing potions, other things like that. You may wish to check in with the Order of the Yard or wherever other organization you work for.
Wrap up side quest stuff before sequestering ourselves into another Underdark situation.
Well, not as bad as the Underdark. I've actually been down there, and it is a stuffy environment, needless to say. But
Yeah.
There's a bunch of crazy ass people down there, man.
I've taken the occasional excursion down there in my youth. Not as adventurous these days as I was when I was younger, but it's certainly a more unique area. Home to Drow.
Yeah. We you happen to have any Underdark scholars? Because we might have some first party documentation for you.
Oh yes, we actually have a number of different people who have interest within the Underdark itself. Um, Professor Sline's always interested in hearing about the different creatures you may find in the Underdark. Although he'll talk your ear off concerning any interesting animal you find on there.
Yep.
But the actual Underdark magic, fascinating to a number of our professors. So I can put you in contact with a couple of them if you'd like.
Sure.
Let me check and see who's still actively interested in that. We have a number of people who need to publish and may be interested in picking your brain about it. But I'll have that information tomorrow. I'll have my assistant get all that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got nothing. Like this is all like a logistics and administrative session, and I've got none of that in
No,
me
I
right
think
now.
we're good. We just gotta talk to them now, get our stuff sold, get any stuff that we need to buy, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
let our crazies know that
Maybe
we're going
break
into the
here.
unknown again.
All right. We'll stop it here and we'll pick this up next week then.
Yeah, I will require aid in recombobulation.